This year, I just started working with Mercury out in what I'd call true liberty, out in the open with no fences, as I titled this video. You can see I'm actually near the indoor ring, and this farm has quite a lot of property. You'll see in this video as I wander around with him, but I was ready to progress my liberty work to outside of the arenas. As you can see in other videos, I have left the indoors open, so the horses are really free. But I thought I would show the progression of this work. And here you see we're walking through the indoor. Mercury always has to choose to go over the jumps because he's Mr. Jumper. So we started out, usually I just let him out of his stall, and he wanders out to the back. That was where we were. Share space, let him have a little grass. There's no structure. I usually set myself a lot of time when I do this because there is quite a lot of ground to cover on this property, so I need time to be able to follow him around and allow him the space to move, and he does like to move, as you will see. He's a little bit spooky sometimes about going out that door, which you saw there, and so you saw him kind of scoot through between the truck and I think the tractor was parked there. So that's actually something I work on with him, is walking through that space. So here we're just hanging out, just having a little graze. I'll often just stop and have a little graze before we move on and do something else. And my goal has been to be able to do the level of dressage work that I do outside, but this is far more challenging. Obviously, he has a lot more ability to move around, so I am a little bit feeling like, it's starting almost over, but it's not really starting over because we have such a good bond. We just have a lot bigger area to work in. So it's good for everyone to see, that he gets to choose to go away. And there you see he went out of the frame, and I called him back to me, and then he came back. Here he's coming back. And we're going around the pasture here to get to the hayfields. The hayfields are in the back of the pastures where the horses live. So that fence you see there is where the other horses live. And that's us working around the edge of the pasture there, taking another grazing break. So I just sort of make my way down to where I want to go, and if he comes, he comes, and if he doesn't, he doesn't. And I work with what he offers. So I'm asking him here to continue with me, to go down towards the hayfields. He's making sure he has a mouthful of food before that happens. And I think a lot of people ask me about working around grass with horses, and they say, oh, I can't work my horse in the ring, it has grass or whatever. This horse is in a hayfield, and this shows how you can work with grass, and it shouldn't be a stumbling block, it should be an exercise. So here I've been calling him again, and we're running towards the hayfield. So we're down in the hayfields now, and that was pretty fun, running with him through the fields. So this is wide open here, and this is where we sometimes practice jumping. You can see there's some cross-country jumps there. And there's other rings down here, but yeah, this is unfenced. He's absolutely free here. He has total freedom, and here we're running around again, having some more fun playing. You can see the sand arena there behind him. So we started out just kind of having fun as usual. He's romping around the field, and that's pretty fun running around with him out there with that freedom. He's having a good time stretching his legs here, working on a little draw there, but he said he's having too much fun running. Having another little grazing break here. So he's just enjoying himself, and I will just pause a lot and let him enjoy the tall grass. He doesn't have grass in his paddock, so I turn him out here so he can browse on the meadow grass, which is actually really cool because there's a lot of wild herbs and things that grow in the field here, so I like to give him the free browse. Oh, he's having fun running again there. So in that last segment, he had come all the way up to the barn here, back to the front side of the barn, and I'm starting to work on leading from behind here to build the magnetic connection a little bit more. And this is a good example of letting the horse resist. I mean, he is trotting off, and that's the a freedom to resist the leading from behind. His horse always has to go love the camera, so he needs Mr. Cameraman. So you'll see him come up to the camera quite a bit because he can't trot past the camera without looking and saying, "Is this my best side?" So yeah, he's showing a really good example of how he'll trot off when I come in, and I'm just trying to work on just following him quietly. And he's got quite a lot of energy, this horse, as you can see. One of the things I like about him. But I think a lot of people get worried about, they say, well, I was doing leading from behind and the horse was running off or bucking or whatever, and that is what they do. You'll see him here trot off several times. So that's part of the exercise, and it's part of what builds the bond. So I thought I'd give people a good view of that, but you'll see as we go along that he starts to quiet down. And just to give you an idea of how long I would work with this, this was under an hour, and I do have more than one part to this, but we worked on several components of waterfall rituals, and it's really fun if you really don't have an agenda. You really let the horse lead. And he's camera hamming there again. So you see he resisted that for quite some time there, the leading from behind. And here is his girlfriend he's visiting. She's in the last video. The big black mare, he loves her. So he had a little visit with her, and then he said, okay, I'm going to come say hello. So that's a good example of saying hello. I mean, walking away. And all of this is spontaneous. I just am reacting to whatever he's doing. So here, I asked him if he would come companion walk with me. He said, yes, I would, okay. So that's a really good example, again, of the leading from behind build a magnetic connection, and then after a little bit of time, I can get a little bit of companion walk with him. I can ask him, but you see here he's still a little bit saying, yeah, I think I want to eat some grass. And so, well, that's okay. I'm going to ask you to lead from behind again. But you see, as I do that, he becomes more into the companion walking. It builds up the connection. So here I'm asking him again to companion walk. with me. And he says, okay, after I get my third close-up, my supermodel here. So we're having another little grass break here. And I try to keep the work balanced, so there's times for him to have his grass, and then there's times for me to make requests. So here I'm going back to ask him a little bit from leading from behind, and then I invite him to walk with me again. And we're working our way back down to the hayfields. And he's stopping for some snacks along the way, but you can see how as you work a little bit more with each exercise, it's getting better and better. And I have no agenda. I said you have total freedom. You have the freedom to do what you want out here. So when he companion walks with me out here, it's the real thing. So that will be part 1. Stay tuned for part 2.